Hey, what's up guys? This is my review of the Burris RT6 combination scope. This thing has a 1:6 by 24 30mm scope that's illuminated. It comes with Burris's red dot fast fire 3 that has 3 levels of illumination, and it comes with Burris's PEPR, which is proper eye relief mount that allows you to move the scope forward on an AR-15 type weapon, because if you use a regular mount it's going to move it too close to your eye. You don't want to lose an eye, trust me. Alright, now there's a lot to look at on this scope, and I'm not going to get with a bunch of my buddies and get all camoed up and shoot at a bunch of still silhouettes at about 10 yards. What I thought I would do, instead of TJ hookering across a bunch of freaking car hoods or some shit like that, is show you about the scope and do an actual scope review. That's where we're headed with this thing. So I'm going to show you all the stuff on it up close, then we're going to take this thing to the range and I'll show you how it performs.
I gotta have more cowbell, baby.
Now here's a look at everything that comes in the box, one piece at a time. First off, we have the Fast Fire 3 owner's manual. It goes through all of the information about it. Then the combo kit and the manual for the whole scope. This is seriously one of the coolest things that comes with this combo. You can set it up with 2 Picatinny rails on top of the rings, or smooth, whichever you want to set it up. Also comes with a screwdriver and 2 of these little hex keys. Of course, a cleaning cloth. Every scope in the world comes with that. Then it also has this little shade that keeps the dust, and it also keeps down the glare off of the red dot part of the sight. And then the big enchilada, the sight itself. The first thing I'd like to show you is the base. Now this thing attaches to any Picatinny rail. It just uses these 2 screws on the side to tighten up. You can tighten it with an Allen wrench, or you can use a set of pliers. Right here you can see that it's a solid piece, so that when it does grab hold, it grabs hold hard as hell. Next up are the rings. Now it comes with these little Torx wrenches that are pretty nice because, like I say, you don't have to dig around in your toolbox for it. And these particular rings with 6 screws on each side, it grabs hold to that scope like it's been doing Kegel exercises. I shit you not. It also comes with a Torx wrench so you can remove the Fast Fire 3 red dot sight if you'd like to. And right here is the battery compartment for the red dot sight. You just unscrew it counterclockwise, pop in a battery, and this thing will run for hours and hours and hours. I left it on and the main scope on for literally a week, and it still had a charge on it. Right here, the screws adjust at 1 MOA for the red dot. As you can see, it's a 3 MOA dot at 100 yards, which is perfect. The red dot has 4 illumination settings: high, medium, low, and off. And after 8 hours of inactivity, it shuts itself off, which makes the battery last up to 5 years. Alright, now let's look at the main scope itself. We'll start off with the eyepiece. Like everything else in this scope, it's built to be fast. So it has a very coarse thread, very freaking smooth. You don't have to turn it a lot to move the focus a lot. It also has a nice texture on the end of it. Now this is freaking cool. The throw lever on this thing can go on any of these slots. That way, whichever is the most comfortable for you, you just unscrew it, move it to the slot that you like best, and slide that sucker around. It goes from 1 to 6, very smooth. Everything works really, really good, way above what you would expect from a scope in this price range. Now the turrets on this scope are capped, so all you have to do is just unscrew them. Once you do, just set them off to the side. You can make your adjustments. There's no need to reset to 0 on it, because with the cap turrets, it's not like you're going to be turning them. This thing has plenty of reference points. It's a close combat type scope, 1/2 MOA per click. The clicks on it work very smoothly. There's just the tiniest bit of slop, but it doesn't matter, because as long as the point of impact doesn't move as you adjust it, that's all you really give a shit about in a scope like this. There it is up close, all the turrets. Here's a look at the front end of this thing. Let's get this sucker ready to take to the range. How about that shit?
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Alright, there's a look at the range. There's the 50-yarder and the 100-yarder off to the left. I've got the scope mounted up in the fixture. You can see here that it's the 3 MOA dot. Now what I really want to do is show you the different brightness settings. One thing that's really cool about this particular red dot is that it has a low enough setting that if you were hunting at dusk, you could actually use it without the dot basically blinding you. Now, I'm sorry about the camera moving around right here, but I'm trying to make sure that as your head would shift behind it, that there's no point of impact shift. Now, a lot of these red dots are not supposed to do this. This one right here holds steady. As you can see right here, I'm hard on it, moving the camera around, but you can see that the dot itself never moves. So check this shit out. There it is at 50 yards. I'll show you the different illumination settings. I wanted to get it on something a little bit darker background so you could see exactly what it does. Grab hold to your panties, guys. Here comes some really cool shit right here. Now here's the really cool part about this scope setup. Here it is on 1 power, looking through the regular optics, and you can flip it up on the red dot. As you can see, both of them are aiming in the exact same place, and you can go from one to the other without ever losing your point of impact. This is a true LPVO scope. It also has the close quarter combat illuminated reticle. It has the ranging marks underneath it for holdover and windage. And on the true 1 power setting, this thing has a huge field of view. Now here's the point of impact shift test. A lot of scopes, especially in these tactical type scopes, when you adjust them right here, you will see a point of impact shift. It shouldn't happen, but it does. Here we go with the vertical tracking. Now check this shit out. Look at how much travel this thing has from top to bottom. That target is over 4 foot tall, and it goes several feet above, several feet below. So if you don't think this thing has enough travel for anything you're planning on doing, you're full of shit. Now here's the horizontal tracking coming up. Again, it gives you plenty of adjustment range. If you run out of adjustment range on this scope, I don't know what in the hell you're doing, what kind of hurricane you're shooting into, but you need to find a better shooting range, maybe a little more enclosed. This thing returns to center every time. Here comes the box test. I gave it 1.5 full turns, up, over, down, and back. Every single time I did this, it took me about 4 or 5 times to get it filmed where it came out right. It repeated every single time. This scope, I'm not going to say it's world class in its tracking because it does move a half MOA, but it works perfect. Guys, thanks for watching. Seriously, for about $550, this thing is really freaking nice. And one of the best parts about it for me is that you can break this thing down. You could take the fast fire, put it on top of a pistol or a shotgun or another weapon. You could take the 1-6, put it on, say, an AR with a different mount, and you could use the mount itself with something that has a little more magnification. All together as a group and as a package, I don't think you can beat this shit. Seriously, for $550, you mount this thing on top of a flat top AR, drop off a hill like the one behind me with a scope like this on it where there's pigs everywhere, and you can pitch a bitch. You can lay them damn things down everywhere. You take something like this, you can tear a hog a new asshole. Guys, there's a link below to Burris where you can check the specs out on this scope. I'm telling you for a fact, I've been playing with this thing for about a month now, and it is solid as a freaking rock. The mount, the Fastfire 3, and the scope, they all seriously kick a ton of ass. Take it easy, guys. Stay tuned. I got more shit coming.
Could have used a little more cowbell.